All right, welcome to another installment of KGB Surveillance. I'm Rock. Joining me today, Chris Lindendahl.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you, buddy?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. Today we're looking
Good.
at Orcs Must Die. It is good. It's very good. So here I'm just going through my spellbook, choosing some traps to put down in the way of the orcs.
Alright, we're ready to unleash the horde.
Yep. Yeah. Basically, the game gives you an unlimited amount of time to lay down your traps, and then when you're ready, you just let them go.
Just for you.
So.
So, those green squares are traps, I assume.
Yeah. You down along the bottom, you've got kind of your toolbar there, and that's like what traps you have at your disposal. You have a spellbook that has a lot of traps in it, but you only have a certain number of slots that you can use in a level. So. Yeah, so I've got some floor spike traps. I've got some oil traps that kind of slow them down. I've got some archers. I've got like arrow traps in the walls.
At the trap store?
Actually, as you like complete a level, basically every time you complete a level, you get a new trap.
Okay. An unlimited amount of the same?
Yeah. Basically, as you kill orcs, you get money, and
Sure.
All the traps have a cost associated with them. Like the arrow wall traps, they cost 500 each. Like the floor spike traps are like 300. So, yeah. So basically, just as you complete waves, you earn more money to buy more traps because the waves obviously get progressively bigger and bigger.
Are you only able to lay traps before they start coming?
Nope, you can lay them while they're coming. It's just it gets pretty chaotic, as you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of my favorite traps is like my usual combo is like spike traps and arrow traps, and I specifically chose this level for the video because of this big like pit of green goo that's in the middle. Oh, here they come.
What are these like warp things you're going through?
They're just little portals that just kind of warp you to that little upper tier there. It's just kind of a faster way to get around.
Okay.
And for weapons, my guy has a crossbow with unlimited ammo, and also a ring that shoots fireballs. And those are interchangeable too. They're interchangeable too. You have there's a few other ones. There's like a staff with like a sword on the end, kind of. There's like an ice ring as well. I like using the crossbow and the fire ring. They're pretty destructive. So.
Do they come along a set path every time?
They're always going to come through those doors, so you can kind of predict where they're going. Oh, I love that trap. It's like a spring-loaded platform that just launches
Yeah,
them.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, so always launch them right into those pools. It's pretty great. But yeah, so you always have a rough idea of the path they're going to take. They'll kind of deviate a little bit within, like, on that walkway. So you can actually lay certain traps that will kind of break up their path. You can lay down like barricades to kind of force them to go in different directions, force them into certain traps if you want.
These archer guys, they never die?
They will. Only if the orcs actually get to them, though. But the orcs in this level, the orcs never get to them. It's kind of around. Yeah, the orcs don't go through those portals or anything. So.
Are the orcs trying to kill your character, or they're trying to get to somewhere?
There's a portal at the back of the level that if you see in the upper right-hand corner, right above my map, there's like a glowing number 30. And those are like I think they call them rift points. Just a quick aside. After you get through a certain number of waves, you kind of get another like unlimited setup phase with a big cash bonus. So that's kind of what I'm going through right now. But rift points, basically every time the orcs are just trying to get to your rift, and if they get inside the rift, you lose a point for every orc that gets inside. So you're basically just trying to keep them away from the rift.
What are these glowing trails I see?
Those lead the way to the rift.
For the orcs?
Yeah, they don't really serve a purpose other than, like, if you get lost in the level or something, you can find your way to your rift.
Okay.
Yeah, rarely ever does the fight actually make it to the rift. Like, if you're smart with your trap placement and stuff, the orcs shouldn't be getting close to your rift. And every trap has a reset time as well, so they don't constantly just go, you know? Like, the spike traps everything takes a little while to reset.
I assume there's boss orcs at some point.
Yeah, actually, over on the right side, you'll see in a sec. There's an ogre who he takes a lot more damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, he
And
made it through.
it's always just you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I can get more of those archer guys if I want to.
But there's no like ground troop support.
You can get like a melee based guy who kind of behaves like the archers, and he's like a big dude who will, you know, jump in and fight against them too, and he's pretty tough. But I usually don't use them because they can get mobbed pretty quickly if you're not careful, and they're expensive. I mean, one archer is like 500, and that's with a buff. Normally they're 600, and I think the melee guy's a little bit more.
It seems like they're going down pretty easily.
Yeah. Individual orcs are not tough. Their strength is in numbers. Because
So, how many? It seems like it takes quite a few waves for them to get challenging.
yeah, there's definitely a build up. You know, it's kind of a slow build, and it basically constantly forces you to be placing new traps in between waves. And you know, what makes it difficult is that every trap has a reset time. So, you know, if you have two orcs who run over the same spike trap one after the other, the first guy's going to get hit, but the second won't. And so that's how the waves get challenging.
Can you set up 2 springs and have them bounce the guys back and forth?
You probably could, but it would only work once per thing because they'd have a reset time.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty funny though.
That would be pretty cool. I've seen some pretty elaborate trap setups. I don't really get too crazy here, just because this map is pretty fast-paced, so I didn't really have a chance to get too fancy with it.
High level Orcs Must Die play though.
Oh yeah, it's insane. I mean, like I've gotten a little bit fancier on some other levels, but yeah, like I mean, I've seen guys like set up a barricade to like change the orc's path, and that will run them into a spring platform that launches them, you know, 30 feet up against a wall where there's spinning blade traps going. Like, it's crazy.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
How much money are you getting? A bit, quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm you know, I actually haven't looked to see like what it is like per orc, you know, how much you get, but you do okay, and then like as you complete rounds, you get like a small bonus, you know.
Are you spending all your money every time?
Close to it, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And that's kind of one of my biggest gripes with the game is that you have access to these things called weavers, and the weavers are you have a magic weaver and like a trap weaver, and you can only pick one per map. None of this carries over from you know, level to level, but you know, the magic one is obviously she's going to make your spells more powerful, she's going to make them cost less, or you can pick the trap weaver and she's going to make your traps generate more money for you. She'll quicken their reset times. It's pretty nice, but the problem is that every perk that you buy from them, you're buying with the same money that you have to buy traps with. So it kind of sucks. Like,
So it's never worth it.
And there's no persistence either. Everything is reset from, you know, one level to the next. So I usually just don't bother. I typically don't need it. I mean, as you can see here, I haven't bought any perks at all, and I'm doing fine. Yeah, I kind of wish that they had instead instituted some kind of a system where, you know, like once you reach a certain like milestone or something, you would get like a skill point or something that you could just use for the weavers instead of having
like
to use
a tree.
Well, and the thing is that there is a tree, but it's operated through cash. It operates just like a skill tree, except instead of just having like skill points, it's just, you're the same money that you need to use to buy traps.
Right.
Yeah, that's my biggest gripe with the game, is that system definitely sucks.
Are you always a human guy with a
Yep.
scarf?
Yep. There's some very, very light story elements. Basically, like the game starts off with like a cutscene of this like old grizzled battle mage guy, and he says that he was like one of the few remaining battle mages, and he like had an accident and basically like slipped and cracked his head, and he died, and so his like apprentice had to take over, and he expresses not a lot of faith in his apprentice's abilities, and that's who this guy is. He's kind of just like a brash, guy. Very light story elements, but it can be amusing sometimes.
And I assume this is like a castle. It doesn't really matter, does it?
No. Pretty much all of the maps that I've seen so far are all castle-type settings. And basically each map will give you a new kind of challenge through its architecture. So, this one, the challenge is that you have to defend two things on opposing sides, and you've got this big pit in the middle, so it's kind of like, use that to your advantage. And a lot of the maps will have something like that, where they'll have some kind of a trick that you can use to your advantage that'll help you out, and will probably make your game a lot harder if you don't use it.
Seems pretty awesome.
Yeah. I like it a lot. I've gotten a lot of playtime out of it. So it's, I'm pretty satisfied with it.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is. And at the end of the level, you get skulls, basically. There's a 5 skull maximum per map, and they are doled out based on your performance, like how long it took you, stuff like that. And basically, you use the skulls to buy permanent upgrades for yourself. Like one that I mentioned earlier was like I bought. I think I spent like 14 skulls or something, and I bought an upgrade that made archers permanently cheaper. Stuff like that. They have upgrades to like make spike traps, poison any orc they hit, stuff to like, if they hit an oil trap, they'll get even more slowed down, stuff like that. So there is a small sense of progression.
Huh. Seems awesome. It's like $10.
Yeah. I think it's like $10 or $15. So definitely worth it. It's
awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we're gonna wrap it up now. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today, Chris.
Thank you.
No.
You look nice, by the way. You smell excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You
Hey.
look great today.
I probably didn't have to sit on your lap, but
Well, it's cozy.
yeah.
Yeah. The listeners or viewers can't, see, but it's building rapport. So, thanks for watching. We will see you guys later.
See ya.